Hi, Milan. How are you?
Hello, hopefully you can hear me now.
Yes, now it's perfect. Sorry, I have to keep you waiting. I had to keep you waiting. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. It was lovely to listen to these wise Ojes's words. Thank you, Ojes. It's kind of nicely summarizes most of my internal beliefs, and it summarizes also my path through this program and before that. So I think there were about two or three, maybe even 4 points that were very corner, very anchor-like for me. So, and I was fighting. I don't want to go through Ojes's words again, but I was fighting with this forgiveness a lot at some point, and being drawn by a river of life was a very strong feeling.
Yeah.
And even at the point that I was aware of power of choice that everyone got, still wasn't enough. But this program helped me to reach what I thought was right already before I joined this. So it's been very helpful for me, for sure. And oh, where to start, really?
Maybe you want to introduce yourself for a moment?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm Milan. Hello. Is there anybody who doesn't know me? Or probably that is okay.
Yeah.
No, I do live in London at the moment. Probably not for much longer though. But it's a lovely city here. It's a lovely rainy weather, I guess.
You too.
But anyway, I've been here for quite some time, about 20 years, and I'm probably relocating soon. So that's, and I have a great job. I've always wanted to do a job like I'm doing here, and I've been married for a lot of years. And when something broke down in the relation, I was struggling a lot. It's almost 2 years now. It's more than 1.5 year. Yes, it's more than 1.5 year now. So at the beginning, it was devastating. Anxiety, stress was really, really hard. And it wasn't just once. It came in several waves. So whenever I got up and stand and I said, I'm okay with it. I'll go on. And then something else hit, and I was down again and again and again. And every time I went through this wave cycle, I felt I'm a little bit stronger. And I did a lot of things that, oh, I'm not sure whether a lot, but is the right word, but I did definitely some things that were meant to help me, and they did in a certain way. So I went through like cognitive behavior therapy, meditations, all these things, and I kind of knew where I am. Well, not always. At some points, I was even doubting myself a lot. But I got to the stage where I kind of knew what I want and where I am, and I understood that I cannot control the life around me, and I understood that there is this power of internal choice that I just mentioned, and this is one of the most powerful thing that I know. I mean, the most powerful. Yeah, I suppose think it's not the right word, but anyway, and I joined this program in December last year, and I was on the same workshop pretty much as is happening now, and I went for this workshop because of the anxiety work, because my anxiety was high. I was kind of trying to cope with it, but it was still high. It was dreadful internal feelings, and this workshop explained a lot of things that I already kind of knew or was really aligned with my path, that I believe is my path. And it uncovered some new things as well for me. And then I gave it a shot because I thought I've got nothing to lose, and it looks like it's in my direction, and it's got some extra bonuses there, like things that I wouldn't probably investigate on my own, or things I wasn't aware of. So I decided to join. And 2 months later, I think it was 2 or 3 months later, I was part of this workshop. So this is my second, it's not my premiere, it's my second time talking about myself in front of people. Oh my God.
You're doing it very well.
And I felt like it's nicely aligned, and I've discovered so many things. And I at that point I was practicing some of the tools that I learned on the workshop, and following that. One of the most powerful for me, I mean, it's different for everybody, so don't like try to follow what I'm saying. It's just an example how it could go. One of the most powerful at the beginning for me was the daily 5-minute journal every morning. I did it for about 3 months, and it was very nice start of the day. I've got different morning routine now, but I still know it's there, and I know I can return to it if I need to. But as I said, after 2-3 months on the first interview, I was like, it's going in a nice way. It's going my direction. I feel everything is right. I feel a bit calmer. It's all right. This time I'm more like close to the end, like 2 months from the end, maybe even less. No, I think it's 2 months. And I feel a lot has changed actually during last 2 months or so, especially during last few weeks for me personally. And I didn't expect much from this workshop, to be honest. Well, I did expect that it will shift me towards my goal, my path, my direction was clear. I wanted to go to that part, to that point on the horizon, and that's the right direction. Let's go there. And it was kind of shifting me. But now I feel I'm like, it's kind of different feeling. I mean, it's crazy to talk about it, but it feels like I'm like flying above the ground, because I see my point is down there now. It's like completely different feeling now, and I don't think I diverged from my path. It's just kind of brought me to a different perspective on everything. And the reason I could achieve this is, obviously everybody says that it's inside you. You have to basically, it's you who is forming your destiny. It's you who's forming your path. And I have no doubt that I've got a role in this evolution of myself. But I have to say, without this group, I don't think I would be that far. Maybe I would, how to say that? So it definitely accelerated my progress, and it opened new views, which was great. So I could actually encompass more than I was thinking about before. But it's like I'm thinking it about like food. If I cook something nice, you have to put some spice on top of it, and without the spice, it's not really great.
Especially if you're from Czech.
Oh yeah. But or you bake a cake, and you want to put this little cherry on the top. Without it, it's not like finished. And I'm thinking about this group like these little things that kind of makes this obvious nice things that converts it to awesome. And thanks to this group, I think I was able to converge my path into awesome path. And that's super. It's also another like saying is like, if you got a plant and you kind of put it in the garden, you don't take care much about it, it's kind of probably gonna grow or not, or probably it will survive. But if you take care of it, you water it properly, it's amazing how fast and how beautiful the plant can be. And I find this group was that extra care for me that I needed.
Oh, I love that. That was beautifully said.
It's Yeah, it's so I'm very abstract in all these. So let me give you some examples. So for me, what was important is it's got several aspects in it that are very diverged. I like diversity. I like different things. I like testing. Like I take the scientific method primarily, of course, for me being me. But I also I'm not very I'm not rejecting the more esoteric methods. And this group kind of combined all the possible views and all the possible tastes, which I really liked about it. So that's one way. And but I think one of the most and of course we've got amazing tutors or guides, I would say, maybe not tutors really. It's you who's doing it always. It's not somebody. It's not Shimrits is amazing in our one-to-one session. So is Ojas. So is Danielle. It's like it's a bunch of really nice people to be with. And but at the end it's you who's changing your path. And those people here are to reflect what you feel, to give you the idea where you can go. It's not like they would tell you you can go this way. It's more like giving you hints how you can think about ways where you want to go. And there's one more spice that I was kind of initially I found it almost destructive. Even I didn't want to really join the groups. We've got group meetings every week, and I was very like don't want to say pessimistic, but I was not very keen on it. Let's put it this way.
The group sessions.
The group sessions, because you are with a bunch of people, everybody's got its own problem, and we're going to talk about something. But those groups are actually turned out like one of the most valuable resource that you can gain here, because the people are struggling. They are fighting their own fights and wars, but at the same time, they are amazing. They are really supportive, and you find so many moments where you resonate with other people, and it will reflect on your internal evolvement. So I find this group actually super, in spite of my initial feelings, I find them like one of the most powerful feature of this like Master Your Path program. So I hope it was not too abstract. I didn't want to go too much details because that would take probably hours, but anyway.
That was perfect. Thank you so much, Milan. Usually I need to ask some questions to kind of lead the conversation, and you did this, you did it perfectly on your own. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here, for sharing your story. If you guys, anyone who is listening, if you have any questions for Milan, feel free to drop them here. I'll have a quick look in the group to see if you have, although I'm sure that my team will help me with that. If there are any questions, feel free to ask Milan anything you want, right, Milan? You're fine with that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it. I'm open. I'm the shy guy in the corner, but I'm open to talk about anything.
Thank you so much. If there will be coming any questions, I will be sure to forward them to you, and to make sure that people are connecting and getting their answers. I'm thinking if there's any question that I can ask you still. You really shared a...
I put one question to myself, if I may.
Yes.
No, there's one more thing that I wanted to point out. I gave you an example how it was for me. And I think when people are struggling and are getting down and depressed and stressed and anxious, there are different phases. And as I said, for me, it started like 1.5 years ago. And I went through like different phases and trying different things. And most of them help in a certain way. And definitely all of them helped me to shift me towards my way. I reached this group when I was in relatively later phase of my no depression really. It was anxiety, stress, but I was in late phase of my evolvement, let's call it this way. And for me, it was really accelerating the last bit that probably would fade off or might have fade off. But if you are, any of you is in different phase, like at the very beginning of this struggle, you will find something different that I found in this group. I believe the real power, one of the real powers of this Master Your Path program is the tools that Shimrits provide. Like I mentioned, the 5-minute journal and at the start of the day. But during this workshop already, there were a lot of them mentioned. So you got this, you will get these tools to work on and work with, and it might help you. I mean, as I said, everybody's different, but it might help you to do the initial stretch of your journey. It might not be the last stretch, or well, it's not the last stretch for me, for sure, but it's like later stage for me. But for somebody, it might be like the initial stretch, but it's still valuable in the sense that it gives you the tools to try different things, and some might work for you. Thanks myself for answering my question.
Thank you. And you know what? I have one question for you, which is kind of questions that are coming up as I'm speaking with people, or my team is, getting questions with people. So that can be a good opportunity to ask you. And I see there's also another question in the chat, so we'll get to that for a moment. Because maybe the word program, and we have the group sessions, we have different team members. How personal do you feel this journey is for you in the program? Do you feel it's something that you need to fit yourself into, take it or leave it kind of thing, or do you feel it is personal and you are seen and heard and cared for on a personal level?
I mean, I am amazed how Shimrit, and thank you, Shimrit, fitted my very weird schedule to be able to actually readjust the sessions so it works for me. I think you all even edit one of the sessions, like the Ojasis session early in the week was not there initially. So I was like stuck with like one session per every 2 weeks or something initially, but then Shimrit added this extra session with Ojas, and suddenly I could go every single week, which was awesome. And also we discussed what is the best way for me forward, because 6 months is actually not that long at all, and I wish it was longer. I mean, I got 7, so to be fair, so I've got a little bit longer at least. But still, it's relatively short, and I would love to explore some of the things that I mentioned that I wouldn't touch normally. And I did touch some of them, but we kind of agreed and we kind of went through the way that I believe in. So we focus on what works for me, and I believe it will work for me, rather than trying something that may or may not work. So it's very customized for me. And I know Shimrit is very busy, and I appreciate that she answers whenever I send her a message. And I'm saying that she's busy because it's not always like I send a message, I won't get the answer like within the next minute or so. It might take some time, but always she answers, and she answers with knowing what I need and what are my needs and who I am. It was very, very personal. And I don't know. I still don't know how the whole group is big, but I meet like with about 8 people from the group in the groups during the group sessions and stuff. And it feels very, very personal between us now, because we know each other quite well. Well, in a sense, quite well. But there is like this circle of trust between us, and circle of gratefulness and appreciation between us. It's really nice. It feels really like I'm part of a very small group, and I'm being seen. I'm being visible.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'll read out here a question that came. So Cynthia is writing, this is awesome. Question for Milan. How do you manage the public anxiety? What are the tools you use that helped you most in a practical way?
Right. Let me rephrase that, because I'm not sure I am understanding it correctly. It's the public anxiety. I'd like to understand it a bit more. Does it mean anxiety from being in public, speaking in front of people?
I think that's maybe what this refers to. Maybe you mentioning you're shy. Yes, Cynthia is
okay. Yeah. Right. So that's a very good question and very fit for me. I remember I was talking at a big conference at some point, like a few years back, and I was meditating at that point already. I mean, I was meditating before this crisis. So, and I was sitting there just 15 minutes before it started, and I was like meditating, and it didn't really work. And I was like, and then I get out to the stage, and I was like, first 10, 15 minutes, I was really like, I couldn't breathe. I wanted to drink, and I had everything ready. I repeated it, but at the stage, I was like, I was frozen. It was terrible. I kind of got over it at some point. So I am not really a public person. Why am I so relaxed here? It's a very good question. Whether I would manage a big audience, it's another good question. This is very anonymous. It feels like I'm talking to Shimrit and Ojas, because I don't see any other. I see some names around, but nobody's got the camera switched on. It seems like we are chatting together with Shimrit, and Ojas is sitting next to us. So it doesn't feel like it's a public speech, really. But I also know that people here are here for a reason. And I know the reason they've got is something that we all share. That's why we are all here. So it feels very, the group feels very isolated from the rest of the world. And we are here to support each other. And it's like, I mean, it's amazing to get the support from the group, but it's also amazing to be able to give support.
I love that.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the question refers to also if you think that there are tools here that helped you. I mean, we didn't really work on this kind of anxiety. That was not something that you were working on, but I think that was what the question was referring to.
Yeah, I guess I'm not aware of any. I didn't use anything specific to come here and talk. It's just I want to share my experience, and the experience was awesome. And I'm more. I really wanted to share it, because it's also sharing it for me. Because I'm expressing my inner thoughts, which is like this group helped me, but it's also saying, like, shouting to the world, I have changed. I mean, it's kind of crazy, because if I think about it, I don't want to change, because I think I've always kind of thought about myself, oh, I am who I am, and I don't want to change. I'm grateful for who I am. Like, some people are not happy with where they are. Most of my life I was happy with who I am and where I am. So why would I want to change? That would mean that something's wrong with me. But that's something that kind of also evolved during this workshop. And I don't think there is something wrong, or ever was something wrong with me. It's more like we need to evolve. We've got, as Ojas mentioned, we've got some patterns in our behavior that were very protective and very needed when we were like little. And now they are blocking us. So it doesn't mean that those mechanisms are wrong. It just means we can get rid of them and be a little bit more free, because we have more choice, because we don't have to listen to those protective mechanisms. I still haven't answered the question, what are the tools I used? Sorry. I just don't think I've got a tool. I mean, okay, let's say that my daily morning routine now that I'm doing is grounding my day. So I do it every morning. I do exercise, I do a bit of yoga, I do a bit of Wim Hof method. And it's kind of, for me now, it's a fixed start of the day. And that gives me the energy to actually go through the day, and energy to look forward to what's happening. And I was looking forward for this workshop. So that's probably the tool. Look forward.
Look forward. I like that. Thank you so, so much, Milan. Thank you for your question, Cynthia. And thank you, Milan, for being here and for sharing your story and your experience. I deeply appreciate it. I love you. I'll see you very soon. Thank you.